This is The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line on 938 Live.
Now, Currencies experts can't agree if the US dollar will strengthen against the Asian currencies in the second half of this year. Some are expecting a better US economy to boost the greenback. Travis Teo finds out more.
US Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen said last week that the US economy continues to improve, but she did not commit to a time frame of when the central bank will start raising interest rates, although economists agree it will happen sometime in the middle of 2015. UOB's senior economist Alvin Liu says once the Fed commits to a timeline, the dollar could surge. He's expecting the announcement in October after the central bank completes the winding down of its monetary stimulus.
One of the key things is that once rate hike cycle from the US is firmed up, right, where we get to see a more concrete timeline coming out from the Fed Reserve, then we think that would have upside impact on the US dollar itself, and that kind of strengthening, right, would be a broad kind of appreciation, not just against major currencies, but also against the Asian currencies, including the Singapore dollar.
He expects $1 US to buy up to $1 29 cents by the end of the year. That's a bigger amount than the current exchange rate of $1 24 cents.
Domestically, I think we have seen that the weakness in the latest second quarter GDP data from Singapore, and we have also downgraded our outlook both on the export and manufacturing sector for Singapore itself. That kind of weakness in outlook would have weigh down on the domestic currency.
Kenneth Tan, forex dealer at Phillip Futures, thinks otherwise. He's predicting $1 US to buy $1 23 cents by the end of the year, a smaller amount than the current exchange rate.
For the Singapore economy, the first quarter GDP year-on-year was 4.9%, which signaled a strong growth. I do feel that the Sing dollar will remain resilient to the spillover effects of the normalization of monetary policy in the advanced economy. So for the Singapore economy, I do feel that the stronger growth as well as the strong trade linkages with the region will be able to keep the currency resilient against any depreciation.
Mr. Tan adds that any downside is also likely to be limited by the Monetary Authority of Singapore's policy bias of favouring a modest gradual appreciation for the Sing dollar.
I do feel that the MAS keeping the Sing near within its band do actually aid the currency in a slow gradual appreciation, and this actually helps prevent any sudden appreciation which may affect its data numbers.
Meanwhile, Director of Wealth Management at Financial Alliance Sunny Hamid is forecasting a broad depreciation in the greenback due to high valuations in US equities.
I do see the US dollar itself potentially going forward weakening because as the US asset markets, that is the stock market, becomes overvalued, I think money will start flowing out from the US in search for regions which have better value, and one of those regions is emerging markets. People will start selling stocks in the US and transferring some of the money out into, for example, China, South Korea, or even Taiwan. Then that itself will translate into a weaker US dollar but a stronger renminbi, won, and even Taiwan dollar.
In the short term, experts say the recent Malaysia airline crash in Ukraine and the bloodshed in the Gaza Strip is driving investors out of riskier equity markets and giving a temporary boost to safe haven assets, including the Japanese yen, the dollar, gold, and US Treasury bonds.